All right, my name is James Jozenes, and for my Pecha Kucha, I did design emphasis. And one of the things I learned through my research is that emphasis is put on more than just a physical look. It can, in design, it's also like how you decide to sell your product. On the first slide, I had two photos I took at the Chicago Auto Show, one of a Ford truck and one, because some people decide, because when you buy a car, you buy it for, nowadays people are buying cars for their fuel efficiency, not so much their looks, because they want to save that money on gas. Because it can be, you first off, whether you want to be, second slide, you saw an image of a very poorly lined emphasis, multiple colors and all over the place, which, unlike this slide, which has a very dominant, tall astronaut standing on a park bench, shows very good emphasis, unlike others. Emphasis can also be done in balance, even if it doesn't seem like it. This image just shows how Apple logo was created using balance, which I never really thought about until I saw this, which I thought was unique because it shows how much time and emphasis they put on creating their iconic logo. It also can be done by having a single standalone color from others and a group of multiple others, such as this green goldfish among the group of 6 or 7 other ones. Out of the 6 or 7, they're usually orange. You don't see that in many. And since mine is design movement, you can also have movement in emphasis, movement used to create emphasis in design. As you see how the triangles get smaller as you go farther up and get bigger back, creating emphasis towards the lower left-hand part of the screen. And part of when I was researching this, I found that emphasis is shaped our daily lives in terms of websites. This is a cheap eye tracking, which is used to track your eye movement, where it falls on a computer screen, based on where your eye falls first. This is an F shape, because in most websites, your eye first lands on the top left corner, like in Google, and which Google and Bing, where all their main things are in the top left corner. That's where your eye falls first. That's one of the things that led Google to becoming more like Bing, and it's what I actually did a survey to show how that I could test to see if this theory was correct. This being a photo of Google's current, of searching Facebook on Google's current version of their web browser. See Google Facebook being the top left corner, right where your eye falls on the screen, as opposed to other web searches. And also I did on a social media website to test it, like during the test Facebook compared to Twitter, see if people were influenced by how the website was designed. Because in some earlier stages of both websites, they were poorly designed based on just social. Now they're also designed on aesthetics and social use. As in this is a photo of a random person's early Facebook account. It's just the editing, but it's really kind of like all over the place. It's really not that design. Your eye falls, based on the thing, your eye falls first right onto the search, not onto who this page is about. Unlike now, same with Twitter, you have all the important information onto the right screen where your eye does not fall most of the time. It has a bunch of really unknown photos. It doesn't get clear of what it's supposed to be about, which is unlike the F-shaped website it's supposed to be about. And then here's a picture of the current status or homepage of Facebook. Based on, you see the very clear image of the person's profile right in the top left corner, so you know you can tell who's the account you're logged into, and also still have information based on that, and also information like where you have people where the like and faves on it. The lesser information like the ads that Facebook makes their money off of is in the lower part of the screen, where less people spend their time, but it still is accessible, but less prominent. And it's similar to this, and that's how Twitter's starting to follow, because they're trying to become as popular as Facebook, so they're starting to follow the model of that other websites to become as popular. And my final point, as I was researching, I found that eye tracking is all created by studies of eye tracking, which is where they track your eye to see where your eye falls first on the computer screen. And they're also using this process to help people create software where you can use that to help people with disabilities, hopefully in the future, easily access the web easier than just clicking your mouse and having to use your hands, even on a touchscreen. And this, my works side page looks at this right because the links were so long I couldn't really fit them on one of them. The first ones I couldn't really fit them on there. I wasn't worried more about the images, but that's something I could have fixed.
You want to put it in slide sorter view for us so that people can see the slides as Can you put the mouse up in the gray bar up the top there and just move that whole, yeah, no, up there, just click there and move it, just drag it to the right a little bit. Thank you.
Yes.
I feel like slide 9 and 13 would be better if you actually took a screenshot on your computer and use like a phone, a different camera, so the lighting would be better.
Okay, it's not quite loud enough for me to understand, Jordan. You're saying that the screenshot, what about it?
To actually take it on your computer,
Yeah.
instead of with a camera, because the lighting would be a lot better.
Yeah, I admit that. For some reason, my thing on my laptop wasn't exactly working. For some reason, it wasn't allowing me to work.
I think you have others. Jake, there's a hand over there.
I like the idea of doing Twitter and Facebook and Google and Bing and stuff. I like that idea, but I think you maybe didn't need the title slides. You kind of had title slides for both those topics there with the football helmets and everything. You could take those out and replace them with a more relevant picture and spend more time talking about the actual concept of it.
I like how you had your own research for this is different than what everyone else had already. I feel like, and the way you did it too, used your own, like your own personal accounts and stuff for research.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback on what Anna's saying there. I think that's the strength there to this presentation. However, I think the slides themselves do need some work. And even if you have to do it in lab, before you put it in your e-portfolio, I would replace those two screenshots. They're easy enough to get on a Mac, if so you could do it, even in lab. And I think the point about the pages that just had the logos on it, that we would probably have enjoyed seeing more shots of the screens there. Particularly because those logos have been stretched to the point, as also the Apple logo up at the top, that the pixelated image is blurry and that it's just been made too big for the quality of the image itself. So you notice how the Apple has gotten stretched just slightly horizontally, and it was fuzzy. And the same thing with the logos that you blew up for those other two pages. So I think those weak points in the slides are something that you could remedy for your and I'd like to see you do that for your e-portfolio. The strength was in thinking of a different way to present this. As Anna said, she really pinpointed that. That is very, very good. When you run into a problem like you did on that last slide, remember, nobody's going to read those, so it doesn't make any difference how small the type is. It's kind of like a legal disclaimer. So just make the type as small as you have to get it on there. Other questions or comments? Okay, thank you.